Most people never realize that something as simple as the way they sleep can quietly influence how their body feels the next morning. Tonight, before you go to bed, there is one small detail worth paying attention to. It may look insignificant, but over time, it can make a noticeable difference in how your body handles circulation, pressure, and overall comfort during the night. Many people over 60 follow their routines carefully. They try to eat better, move more, and take care of themselves. And yet, despite doing everything right, they still wake up feeling heavy, tired, or not fully restored. What often goes unnoticed is what happens during the hours when you are asleep. While you are resting, your body continues working. Your heart keeps a steady rhythm. Your blood continues moving through vessels that are not as flexible as they once were. And your system relies on balance, positioning, and natural support to keep everything flowing smoothly. Here is what is important to understand. As the body changes with age, circulation becomes more sensitive to position. Blood does not move as easily as it once did. The natural support systems that help maintain flow become less efficient, and small mechanical factors, like how your body is positioned for several hours, begin to matter much more than most people expect. This is where many people make a mistake without realizing it. They go to bed in a position that feels pravuchny, comfortable, something they have done for years. But comfort does not always mean support, and over time, that pravuchnia position can create subtle strain. You may have noticed certain signs. You wake up and your legs feel slightly heavy. Your ankles may look a bit swollen. It takes some time before your body feels fully awake. Sometimes there is a sense of pressure or restlessness during the night. These are not random experiences. The body is simply responding to how it has been positioned for several hours without adjustment. And there is one key idea that is rarely explained clearly. Your body has a natural way it prefers to rest. A position that allows gravity to work with it instead of against it. A position where circulation flows more freely and the heart does not have to compensate unnecessarily. Most people were never told this, not because it is complicated, not because it requires anything special, but simply because it is rarely discussed in a practical way. The interesting part is this: a small adjustment in how you position your body at night can support circulation, reduce unnecessary pressure, and help your system work more efficiently while you sleep. But to understand why this matters, it helps to look at what is happening inside the body during the night. During sleep, your heart continues its steady work, beat after beat, hour after hour, without pause. At the same time, blood from the lower part of the body needs to travel back upward. This process becomes more demanding over time. The vessels are not as elastic as before. The natural mechanisms that help maintain smooth flow are not as strong, and the body depends more on positioning and support. When blood moves more slowly, it tends to collect, and when it collects, it creates conditions that the body has to manage carefully. This is why many people notice that certain mornings feel heavier than others. It is not just about how long you slept, it is about how your body functioned during those hours. Some people wake up feeling light and clear. Others feel as if the body needs time to reset. And in many cases, the difference comes down to something as simple as position. There is also another important detail. Your body is not symmetrical in how it is structured internally. The placement of organs, the direction of major vessels, and the way systems interact all create a natural preference. When you align with that preference, everything tends to work with less effort. When you go against it, the body compensates. And this compensation, repeated night after night, is what gradually creates strain. Let me ask you something simple. Do you ever notice that certain positions feel easier to stay in, while others create subtle discomfort over time? That is your body giving feedback. It may not be obvious at first, but over hours, those small differences add up. There are also certain patterns that many people recognize. Waking up during the night without a clear reason. Feeling the need to change position frequently. Not feeling fully rested even after enough hours of sleep. These are signals worth paying attention to, because they are not just about sleep itself. They are about how the body is functioning during sleep. And once you understand that, a simple change becomes much easier to accept, because it is no longer just advice. It becomes something that makes sense on a deeper level. In a moment, I will walk you through the exact position that supports your body most naturally, and how to set it up in a way that feels comfortable and sustainable. But before that, it is important to understand which positions tend to work against the body, even if they feel familiar. Because once you see the difference clearly, the right choice becomes obvious. There are a few common sleep positions that many people naturally fall into without thinking twice about them. They feel familiar. They feel comfortable. But over time, they may not be giving your body the support it actually needs. Let's start with one that often surprises people: sleeping on your stomach. At first glance, it might seem harmless. Some people even say it helps them fall asleep faster. But when your body stays in that position for hours, your chest is pressed downward, and your upper body carries unnecessary pressure. Your breathing becomes slightly restricted. Your neck is turned to one side for long periods, and your body is working harder than it needs to, just to maintain a stable rhythm through the night. Over time, this creates subtle tension that builds without being noticed. Now let's look at another very common position: sleeping flat on your back. Many people assume this is the neutral position. It looks balanced and it feels natural. But for a lot of adults over 60, this position can create challenges during the night. When you lie completely flat, your body has to manage pressure differently. The natural flow of fluids changes. Breathing patterns can become less stable. And for some people, this position leads to more interruptions during sleep, without them even realizing why. You may wake up feeling like your rest was lighter than expected, or you may notice that your energy in the morning takes longer to build. Again, this is not random. It is simply the body responding to position over time. Now there is another position that many people use without questioning it: sleeping on the right side. For years, it may feel completely normal. It becomes a habit, something automatic. But there is an important detail most people never consider. Your body is structured in a way that creates natural flow patterns, and when you lie on one side versus the other, you are either supporting that flow or working against it. When you sleep on the right side, certain internal pathways are not as naturally aligned. The body can still function, of course, but it may require more effort to maintain balance. And just like with the other positions, that extra effort adds up over time. Now here is the key point. None of these positions feel wrong in the moment. That is why they continue for years. The body adapts, compensates, and keeps going. But adaptation is not the same as support, and once you begin to notice the difference, everything becomes clearer. There is one position that aligns more naturally with how the body is designed to function during rest. A position where gravity works with your system instead of against it. Where pressure is distributed more evenly. Where circulation has less resistance. And when people switch to this position, they often notice something interesting. Mornings feel different. The body feels lighter. The transition from sleep to waking becomes smoother. Small discomforts that used to feel normal begin to fade. It is not an overnight transformation, but it is a consistent shift that builds over time. And the reason it works is not complicated. It is simply alignment. Alignment with how your body is structured. Alignment with how your systems naturally operate. Alignment with how rest is meant to support you, not challenge you. So what is this position? It is sleeping on your left side. That is the position your body tends to respond to most naturally. But there is an important detail here. Just turning onto your left side is not enough by itself. There is a correct way to support that position, so your body can fully benefit from it. And this is where most people miss the real advantage. Because they try it briefly, without the proper setup, and assume it does not make a difference. In the next part, I am going to walk you through exactly how to set this up in a simple, practical way, so that it feels comfortable from the very first night. And once you understand how to do it correctly, it becomes something you can repeat every evening without effort. Now let's make this practical. Because the position itself matters, but the setup is what actually allows your body to stay in that position comfortably for several hours. And if the setup is wrong, your body will naturally shift back to old habits during the night. So the goal is simple. Create support that feels natural enough for your body to stay in place without effort. Let's go step by step. The first element is gentle upper body support. Not just your head, but your entire upper body. When your upper body is slightly elevated, your system doesn't have to work as hard to manage pressure and circulation during the night. It creates a more balanced flow and helps your body settle into a more stable rhythm. This does not mean sitting up or creating a steep angle. A small, natural incline is enough. Something that feels comfortable, almost unnoticeable, but supportive. The second element is supporting your lower body. When you lie on your side, your top leg naturally wants to move forward. Over time, this can create subtle tension in your hips and lower back. Placing a firm pillow between your knees keeps your body aligned. It allows your hips to stay balanced and reduces unnecessary pressure. This small adjustment alone often makes the position feel much more natural. The third element is stability. One of the reasons people roll onto their back during the night is because the side position is not properly supported. A small pillow or soft support placed near your upper torso can help maintain position without discomfort. It doesn't need to be large, just enough to give your body a gentle sense of stability. The fourth element is head support. This is where many people unintentionally create tension. If your pillow is too high or too low, your neck is no longer aligned with your spine. Over several hours, this can lead to stiffness and discomfort. The goal is simple. Your head, neck, and spine should form a straight, natural line when you are lying on your side. Not tilted, not compressed, just neutral. You can test this easily. Lie down on your side and notice whether your neck feels supported or strained. A small adjustment in pillow height can make a significant difference. Now, I want to pause for a moment, because at this point it might feel like a lot of details. But in reality, your body understands this much faster than your mind does. Once you try it, the setup begins to feel intuitive. The next piece brings everything together, and this is something most people never think about. Before you go to bed, your body has already been upright for many hours. Throughout the day, fluid naturally settles in the lower part of your body. By the time evening comes, your legs are carrying more than they did in the morning. When you lie down, your body begins to redistribute that fluid. And sometimes, that process happens during the night in a way that interrupts rest. There is a simple way to support your body before sleep. For a short period of time before going to bed, elevate your legs slightly above the level of your heart. This can be done in a very simple way. Lying down, with your legs supported by pillows, resting them against a wall, any position that feels comfortable, even a short period, is enough to help your body begin that redistribution before sleep instead of during it. Many people notice that this alone changes how their night feels. Less interruption, more stabiliness, a smoother transition into sleep. Now, when you combine everything together, something interesting happens. Your body no longer has to compensate. It begins to operate in a more balanced way throughout the night. And this is where small changes start to create noticeable results. In the next part, I will show you the most common mistakes people make when trying to apply this, and how to avoid them so you don't lose the benefit without realizing it. Now let's talk about what can quietly cancel out all the benefits we just discussed. Because this is where many people think they are doing everything correctly, but still do not notice a difference. And usually, the reason is one of these simple mistakes. The first mistake is relying on regular pillows to create elevation. At the beginning of the night, everything feels right. Your upper body is slightly raised, the position feels supportive, and you fall asleep comfortably. But as the hours pass, those pillows compress. They lose their structure, and your body gradually returns to a flatter position without you realizing it. By morning, you are no longer in the position you intended to maintain. And this is why consistency matters more than intention. Support needs to remain stable throughout the night, not just at the beginning. The second mistake is focusing only on the head. Many people stack pillows under their head, thinking they are creating elevation. But in reality, the upper body stays flat while the neck is pushed forward. This creates tension instead of support. Your body senses this imbalance, and eventually shifts position to relieve it, often moving you back into previous knee patterns. The key is to support the torso, not just the head. When the support starts from below the shoulders, the entire upper body rests more naturally. The third mistake is trying to change everything at once. When people decide to improve their sleep, they often attempt to apply every adjustment immediately. New position, new pillows, new routine, all in one night. And the body resists. Not because the changes are wrong, but because habits built over years need a little time to adjust. A gradual approach works much better. You introduce one element, allow your body to adapt, and then add the next. Within a short time, the entire setup begins to feel natural. Now I want to share something important. Many people believe that if a change does not create an immediate dramatic difference, it is not working. But the body does not always respond that way. Some improvements are subtle at first. You may notice that your sleep feels slightly deeper, or that you wake up just a bit more refreshed, or that certain small discomforts are less noticeable. These are signs that your body is moving in the right direction, and over time, those small changes become more consistent. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine 2 different nights. On one night, your body spends several hours compensating for position, managing pressure, adjusting circulation. On another night, your body is supported, aligned, and working with less resistance. Even if the difference feels small at first, over weeks and months it becomes meaningful, because your body repeats that process every single night. Now, there is another aspect that often gets overlooked: confidence. When you understand what you are doing and why, you are much more likely to stay consistent. You are not just trying something new, you are supporting your body in a way that makes sense, and that changes how you approach it. Instead of wondering if it will work, you begin to notice how it feels. You pay attention to your mornings, your energy, your comfort, and that awareness helps you refine the process naturally. In the next part, I will bring everything together into a simple, clear plan you can follow starting tonight, without overthinking it. Now let's bring everything together in a way that feels simple and realistic. Because at the end of the day, what matters is not how much information you have, but what you actually do with it tonight. So here is a clear and practical way to begin. On your first night, focus on just 3 things. Sleep on your left side. Place a pillow between your knees. And spend a few minutes before bed with your legs slightly elevated. That is enough to start. You do not need perfection. You do not need the full setup immediately. You just need a starting point. From there, you can gradually improve your setup over the next several days. Add gentle upper body support. Adjust your pillow height so your neck feels neutral. Create a position that your body naturally wants to stay in. Within a short time, it stops feeling like something new. It simply becomes the way you sleep. And this is where something important happens. Your body begins to respond. Not dramatically, not all at once, but in small, noticeable ways. Mornings feel a little liegche. Your body feels a bit more balanced. You may find yourself waking up with more clarity, or simply feeling like your rest was more complete. These are the signals to pay attention to, because they show that your body is no longer working against itself during the night. Now I want you to think about something. You spend hours every night in one position. That is a significant part of your life. And for many people, it has been happening the same way for years without question. But now you have a different option. A way to make those hours more supportive instead of neutral. And that choice begins tonight. Not perfectly, not all at once, just a small adjustment in the right direction. Give yourself time, let your body adapt. Stay consistent for a few weeks and notice what changes. Because real improvement often comes from repetition, not from one single moment. Before you go, take a second to reflect. What position have you been sleeping in? And what is the one change you are willing to try tonight? Even a small shift can begin to change how your body feels over time. If this helped you see something differently, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from it as well. Many people simply have never been told that something this simple can make a difference. And sometimes the right information, at the right moment, is all it takes to start a change. If you want more simple, practical insights like this, stay connected. There is always something small that can be adjusted, improved, or better understood. And over time, those small adjustments build into something meaningful. For now, keep it simple. Tonight, choose a position that supports you. Give your body the conditions it needs. And let it do what it has always been trying to do. Work for you, not against you. Sleep well tonight.